1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Hey, beautiful people of Success Mentor, Dante J. Worth, and I'm back with another video right here on Audacious Believer TV! Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I need you to make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure that you like this video. And make sure that you're commenting down below. Me and my team absolutely love to read your comments. Now, tonight, we're being joined by the beautiful, the fabulous, the one, the only. Tell them who you are, darling.
Hélène Biandudi Hofer.
So I invited her here tonight to talk about the pressure of being a storyteller. Before we talk about that, what's your story?
All right, well, I am from Columbus, Ohio originally.
Ooh.
And so I've always wanted to go into journalism since I was a tiny little tyke. And it's just one of those things. It was a lot of work, hard work.
I believe
mean, like lots of rejection, like a ton of rejection. But with time, got to a place where I thank God, I can do what I love, meet people, hear their stories, share their stories, and hopefully in the process, change perspectives and minds and get people to do something.
That's awesome. So a lot of times as a storyteller that you have a lot of trust in you, that you have the responsibility of taking that story that someone else has and then delivering it to the people who are in the audience.
Right.
How does that feel? What does that do for you?
I feel honored when people open up and they trust the fact that not only will I allow myself to be vulnerable with you, stranger who I'm just meeting for the first time, but I'm also trusting that you will take my story and then there will be justice to what you're doing. And so it's an incredibly valuable thing. I respect people for doing it. Doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with everybody that I'm talking to or their viewpoints or perspectives, but that doesn't matter because my job is to give them a platform in order for them to share their story.
Yes. I know one of Brene Brown's mantras is that you should only share your story with those who have the right to hear it. How do you earn that right?
I think it's because I highly respect the person who is sharing their story with me. And so again, I emphasize it doesn't necessarily mean I agree, but it's that I'm there for them. People can tell when someone is genuine. They can tell when they care. And I think that's, I think that's a part of it is that they know when I sit down with them, I'm there for them. Like I want to know them. I want to know what drives them. I want to know what challenges they're dealing with. And so I think you can sense that with somebody. And I think that's what enables them then to say, okay, she has earned the right for me to share my story with her.
That is good. That's good. So when you hear someone's story, how do you decide on what part of the story is valuable to the audience that you have to present it to?
That's a good question because sometimes people share so much valuable information and it's like, okay, you have to sift through it and decide. It's all relevant, but what's relevant in this moment? And that's the difficult thing. So I used to just go into an interview and spend hours sometimes with somebody. People believe in that. Some people say that's great, but I've started to kind of retrain what I do and, I know in advance you've spent enough time researching the person or the topic and then it's a matter of, okay, I know what people want to share. I know what, let's extract that info so then I can just kind of dig in and put that story together.
That's awesome.
It takes research, I think, a lot of times. That's it.
What advice would you have for someone on the other side who has a story to share and they just don't know where to start?
Oh, that's good. I think I would start by saying if you really want to share your story and maybe you don't feel comfortable reaching out to a reporter or a journalist or a blogger, in your local community, take your phone, put it on a tripod, flip it around, and share your story. It does not take much. We are so lucky.
We have technology.
I know, like before, the tapes and film and all sorts of stuff, but turn the camera on yourself or on your iPhone, just if you don't want to, see yourself, put the audio on and just record and just go and just don't stop, don't hold back.
That's good. And sometimes you don't have to share your story for the world to hear. Sometimes you just got to get it out of you.
So true.
Just get it out of you.
So true. And what that can do for you when you do that, it's just, I think it can be really powerful.
Yeah. So what has been the most liberating story that you've had to tell?
Man, that's a hard question. That's a hard question. I think liberating and rewarding. Oh, it's tough. Probably telling the story of the Lost Boys of Sedan, but more specifically how one particular one from upstate New York went back to his village to rebuild schools. Oh, wow. And he invited me to come along and we tracked the journey, and it was to see where we were back in January 2013 to now. He has the biggest primary school in South Sudan.
Wow.
Girls' school. I mean, how he's empowering people.
Come on. That's awesome.
And so I get to stay in touch with him, and throughout the course, he's become family. He's like a brother to me now, and so I get to see how we started here and how the story has grown. And that was just, oh my gosh, that was one of those experiences where you're like, I can't believe I get to do this. You know, it's like, geez.
That's good. So, then you bring up an awesome point that when you share your story, there's a connection. You build connectivity.
It's so true.
What do you believe is the value that comes with that connectivity?
Oh man, when you connect, I think it opens up the door to so many different possibilities. Yeah. So when you connect with someone, sometimes you're just planting a seed in somebody else. You have absolutely no idea how that seed will grow, but maybe years down the road you find out, hey, we connected about this thing, and you said something that made me believe this, and then I in turn, went and did this, and then you start to see this really positive kind of ripple effect that takes place, and it opens the doors to so many different things. Yes! It's really cool.
When have you felt like the most pressure telling a story? Like, when did that pressure really been on your shoulders?
I think with most recently coverage of opioid and heroin, I think that has been because we talk to individuals who were struggling and they're in recovery and never shared their story before. So you feel the pressure to, you empathize with the person, but there's also the other, you need to tell all the sides or a few of the different sides. And so that's a hard thing to do.
It is, because people become vulnerable with you. And
right.
A lot of times I help people share their stories in forms of books. Sometimes they are sharing those deep, painful, traumatic stories.
Yes.
And they're very vulnerable. How do you not exploit their story in a way that they feel as though they're being exploited?
Yeah, that's good. So I think it's a matter of me emphasizing and re-emphasizing, this is what I will be sharing. Okay. This is what we're doing. This is why we're covering it. And in that pre-interview process, before you go in and you turn on the cameras, I say, I want to make sure you feel comfortable with this because this is what we're going to be doing.
Exactly. A lot of times people don't realize that when they're dealing with the media, that their story is meant to be exploited sometimes just for the.
And it's such a hard word, exploited. And so I try to reframe that and say, you're opening up a part of yourself, and people in the audience, there will be people in the audience that will connect with you, and they've been so scared to share this part of themselves, and you're allowing them to do that by opening yourself up. It's just kind of a way of reframing what they're doing.
That's good. And one more thing, and when someone's being very vulnerable, how can they reframe their mind around who's going to be coming at them with negative thoughts and negative opinions rather than just focusing on the positive?
Right. I think you prep yourself in advance for that. Yeah. Just if you prep in advance, then it's not like, oh, this is coming out of left field, and what do I do with this now? Yes. So I think it's being mindful of the fact, when you're getting ready to share your story, remember, not everyone will agree. Exactly. There will be people that will come at you, and whether through an email, a text, a phone call, something nasty on social media, and it's just use that as fuel to keep doing what you're doing.
That's good. Are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Okay.
Favorite book?
Favorite book. Okay, hang on. When God Winks, Squire Rushnell.
Favorite movie?
Oh gosh, I gotta keep it real. Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Okay, honey. What do you see when you look in the mirror?
Oh, I see, just someone who God created to just go and do the work. Nice.
And to be audacious means to be?
Oh, absolutely fearless.
Yeah! So tell the people where they can find you online.
Oh my gosh. Follow you. Yeah, sure thing. If you go to HéléneBiandudi.Hofer.com, oh my gosh, how are you going to do that? I hope we can spell it out for them. I got you. But if you go there, everything's there. All the projects. So please join me.
Yes. Until next time, remember that life is meant to be enjoyed and not just endured.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you for having me.